Is the long weekend. If you're looking for something to do, why not head down to the cinema? Because if you are a motoring fan, Need for Speed is opening tomorrow. So make sure that you go see that. But Guy McDonald had the chance to sit down with the cast, so don't miss that interview coming to you at around 7:20 this morning. But we're staying on the motoring issue because you know what? When it comes to your motor vehicle, essentially you trust your car with your life and you want to make sure that it's in top running condition. So Federal-Mogul put together a series of tips to make sure that your car is running smoothly.
Bertus is back to continue our journey to safer roads and a happier, healthier car. And when it comes to road safety, we now know that maintenance is key, and it also all starts with your braking system and in particular your brake pads. Now, Bertus, this is a slightly bewildering area for the end user like myself. There are so many different options out there. How many players are there in the market?
In the South African market, 103 players in the friction field. So the end user's got a big variety to pick from at the different price level as well. But also you must bear in mind that there's a safety critical item in a vehicle. You don't want to spend only a minimum amount of money, because on the end of the day you're going to sit in a situation where you're only going to have a minimum amount of safety on your vehicle.
So stick with who you know. Now, just as confusing, looking at the components that are involved in that braking system, let's demystify it a little bit. Take me through what's involved. What's at play here?
I think the first thing we must actually remember or emphasize is not only the hard components that you see, but there's a lot of components on the vehicle that you don't see. And when you're working on a brake system, you must realize that you're working on the complete system, not only the set of brake pads that you fit or the new rotors that you fit to that vehicle.
How do I know I'm getting a good quality product?
I think the big thing is to remember, stay with reputable brands. It's very important to stay with a brand that's proven themselves over the years in the market on the performance level and the backing of that product. By buying a set of rotors, for instance, you're not only buying the product itself, but also by buying the technical backup if anything goes wrong on that vehicle.
So it's all about where the science actually happens.
We actually manufacture brake pads for a certain application. So it means that if we've got a part number, it's supposed to fit on that vehicle. If you go to a spare shop, for instance, and match up a set of brake pads, make sure that the brake pad number actually match up with the application, because the backing plate might fit in that different caliper, but the friction material that does all the braking and the safekeeping is actually not allocated to work on that specific vehicle and might probably not be able to stop that vehicle in time. So it's very important to stick with the right part number for the right application.
Now, you had some great advice for me in our last session about how maintenance leads to safety and general road safety, looking specifically at brake pads. Any tips for our viewers?
The biggest tip I can give them is stay with a reputable brand that's proven themselves over the years in the market, not only by the performance that they give you, but also the backing that you get from that product. Another interesting tip that I want to mention is make sure that the pad that you fit to that vehicle is the right pad for that vehicle. Don't go and try and fit a pad that's actually allocated for a normal day-to-day vehicle to a bucky, because normally it won't stop that vehicle in time. And also something to remember is always fit the new components that's supplied in the boxes. If it's in the boxes, you can please fit them to make sure that the system works correctly and safely.
So if it's in the box, put it on. Bertus, thank you so much. This has been invaluable as always. Our journey to a safer road and a happier, healthy car and a safer family will continue. This really has given me a lot of food for thought. I hope for you as well.
You're in control with Ferodo.